welcome back to the channel. I am Krifu Bernal. I, as always, very excited to bring you yet another episode of the Skull and of the Spear and a solo Pathfinder First Edition playthrough of Skull and Shackles, the infamous pirate adventure path published. Cheers! Oh, and there go the frame rates. Hell yeah. Wouldn't be a proper stream without me dropping frame rates left and right. Well, so when last we were here, we experienced an exhilarating, I don't know, you have to say that so many boarding action aboard the merchant vessel, the Rahadumi merchant vessel, the Man's Promise. Our heroes, that in air quotes, our heroes were selected to lead a special boarding mission in which they needed to hold the stern castle, take the stern castle and hold the aft part of the ship. Yeah? Are those words right? And prevent sailors from escaping. Ransom is a nice way of making some money. Unfortunately, our crew was not completely successful at that. Two sailors, we can see right here, were able to drop this ship, this boat here, and escape through these shark-infested waters. However, when the next group of sailors came to escape on this ship, they managed to slay all of them, and as soon as they did, this Rahadumi officer here, with her hawk animal companion, surrendered, pleading with their honor to spare her life. Luckily, she probably met some of the more honorable pirates of the Wormwood's crew. Sandara and Spear, I don't know so much about. Hazlen and Conchaba. But they spared her life. And so when we come to the camera opens on these two ships as the fog is melting away by the Sot Desnan sun. It's the month of Desnas. And I've got allergies. And excusez-moi. Much better. By the hot sun, a trail of sailors and officers are being led past Captain Harrigan aboard the Wormwood. Let's zoom in. Let's put him here. Plugg's here. The owlbear's here. Scourge is kind of maybe next to Plugg. With some other fellow pirates here. We can start moving everyone back. I was thinking about which members of our crew that survived or perished in the boarding action. I'm not 100% sure on all of that. I don't know how many of them survived. I compared the stats for the sailors here and our, fellow crew members aboard the Wormwood. The sailors have 2 levels in Warrior and Expert. Those are both NPC classes. They're both poor classes. The pirates have 2 levels in Fighter. So already they sound like they're better off they're not as well equipped. They're lucky to be wearing. I don't think they're wearing much in the way of armor. And so they're lucky to have a cutlass in their hands. Maybe Cutthroat Grok would have armed them a little bit better with a weapon of their choice. Didn't give us any extra weapons, not that we needed them. But yeah, that I don't know. I'm gonna say that a few of our pirates did perish. A few, maybe one or two. Not very many in comparison. So, let's get back to the action. As we come back, we can see Captain Harrigan eyeing with his one good eye all of the sailors that are being marched past him and downstairs into the brig. And he says, get these prisoners below decks so that we can divvy up the plunder and celebrate our success. The rest of the pirates go up and cheers. Ha ha! Yeah! Hee hee! They all start cheering. I think lastly, as as they're all these sailors are boarding the ship. Mr. Plugg sees our Rahadumi officer being her animal companion. The hawk, she had to call it down. It was like trying to attack Sandara and the rest, and she said, "No, Pedre, no, come, down. And she goes to grab him, and as they board the ship, Mr. Plugg sees the animal. What's this? No pets allowed for prisoners. And he takes his cutlass and smacks it out of her hands. What are you doing? No, we've surrendered. Like I said, no pets for prisoners. And he takes his cutlass and as he cuts down the hawk, or I think it's like an osprey, actually, the Rahadumi woman goes, no, Petra. Or she wants to. She gasps a little bit, but her stoic nature gets the better of her, and she lifts a chin defiantly. Don't worry. Whatever defiance you have left in you will be gone when I'm done. And the sailors are led down below deck. Let's go to party mode. Sun begins. Well, I don't even know if the sun. It's still pretty early, like probably by midday by the time the crew gets to work, anchoring both of the ships so that neither of them move from the spot, and they begin drinking. Let's see what the AP has to say. The fog dissipates and a line of prisoners is paraded before Captain Harrigan. The party begins. So we can see all of the... during this time, PCs can take up to 5 ship actions of their choice, or do nothing but drink and revel like most of the pirate crew does. 5 ship actions. I'm curious, what do I want to do? Sneak around? Well, let's wait. Let's see. So the camera zooms up and we can see the crew begin to jump into action. They are anchoring the boats. I think all of the dead bodies are being lined up, and Sandara oversees some of the. I think like as the bodies are being lined up, we see Master Scourge. All right, get these corpses up and out of the way. We've got partying to do. Nope. Master Scourge, what is it you intend to do with these bodies? Throw them to the sea, of course. After we pat them down and take whatever gold they want, they've got. If you wouldn't mind, I would like to oversee the process. There is a Besmaran Ritual. Besmaran Rituals. I wouldn't be so quick to scoff at the Pirate Queen's ways, Master Scourge, especially considering that one of her, without her, we may not have been as successful today. All right, fine, so be it. Well, what's so important about this ritual anyway? Well, it's quite simple. We thank Besmara for her help in today's battle. And, of course, she should receive her tithe. Her tithe? You'll have to go over that with the captain. Oh, I intend to, but these bodies will do for now. I've got a question. Yes, I do. I'm going to go ahead and open up Sandara's character sheet. Because this feels like a diplomacy check. I want to see how this is going to go. So let's import Sandara. Sandara Quinn. I'm Sandara Quinn, level 3, cleric, chaotic neutral cleric. I've got a +2 diplomacy, so not very much at all. But we will see what happens. 5. Very good. Alright, so actually, that's a 5, that's bad. Say whatever kind of prayers you want, but you won't be interrupting what we're doing here. And if you think you're going to be going to the captain to see about spilling some of your plunder into the sea, you'd better think twice, maybe even 3 times before you do that. You'll see, Master Scourge, that such a slight to the Pirate Queen will not go unpunished. Yeah, sure, you and your boyfriend are gonna come up against me in the first mate? Doubtful. And with that, Sandara, boyfriend? Anyway, goodbye. And she walks away. The bodies get pushed under and the partying begins. I think we see a group of pirates. So we're going to go ahead and take some... Pretty... Get back. Let's see. So I can keep track of how many each one's take. One from Hazlen. He's going to entertain the crew. Let's double check. Tip actions, entertainment. The life of a pirate. Perform results. Cool. And this will help with charisma-based skill checks to interact with any listener. So there's a good group of pirates. Yeah, a good group of pirates watching, hanging out as Hazlen is telling a story. Oh, right, it was a mighty battle, it was. Oh, you should have seen me dagger in hand, chopping and slicing and piercing and pushing. Sailors falling underneath my blade. They couldn't see me coming, not from a mile away through the fog. Right. Are you so sure about that, Hazlen? I figured it would be the big one, Spear, who would be doing most of the martial acts of prowess.
Spear was all right. He held his own, but and to be honest, if without Spear, I would have attracted a lot more attention. He's so big and ugly.
The pirates start to laugh at that.
But it was me who took most of them down. They couldn't see me, so small I was and quick I was.
We'll go ahead and give him a perform check. He's like completely out of mythic search abilities, so there's no way we're going to add to this. It's still a 16. That's great. That's enough for him to get the +1. What is it? +2 dot checks. I think we'll go to Spear, and he's like, the camera like pans over, and Spear's got, like a cup of rum in hand, and he's maybe fingering the Besmaran holy symbol around his neck and saying a light prayer when I feel like Rosie would come up to him. That's not Rosie. There's Rosie.
Hey, Spear! How was it? I bet it was awesome. I was stuck over here, manning the guns down below, but you were in the thick of it, the fray. Was it great? Was it everything I hope you hoped it would be?
Yeah, it was great, Spear says, kind of like hunched over, maybe like running his hands through his short black hair.
There was many action, much blood. There was a moment, too, where I thought it was a bit close, but through Besmara's grace, I was able to heal myself and bring myself back up to fighting shape.
Where is she?
Right, you can, like, do fucking magic or something, can't you? God, I wish I could fucking do magic. Fighting magic, battle magic, that'd be fucking sweet.
I don't understand the magic that has come to me, but it's been useful.
Hey,
Spear. Crimson Cogward comes over. I heard you and Rosie talking about the battle. Was it cool?
Yeah, it was cool.
Cool? Spear looks a little weird. It was actually not cool. It was hot. Like, battle is heated,
Spear, you idiot. No. Cool is like,
it's, awesome or great.
Awesome. There are beasts under the sea who are awesome and frightening. And great as well. Is that what you mean?
No, Cog says. I mean cool, like fun, happening.
Well, there was quite a lot happening. Spear, don't be so thick, you dumb butt. No, it's like, well, it's just cool, okay?
All right, I will take you at your word, I suppose. We'll count that as an action for Spear. I don't really know what else he wants to do right now. And that's the thing, 5 ship action. I mean, it's also important to keep in mind that, like, this is the last, spoiler alert, these are the last actions that we're taking aboard the ship. So, any kind of last things that we want to do here, we need to give the players their chance. So daytime ship actions. I could sneak, I could shop, I could shirk. No, we're talking nighttime ship actions. Gamble, entertain, influence, sneak, steal. Those aren't bad. No, I think Spear is just kind of like taking it easy. He's got all of his gear back because he had the captain's, he got some of his, good, he got into his good graces a little bit through our combat with the reef claws. So I think we're looking at Hazlen specifically here. He's
very much enjoying the attention he's getting here, and he's going to take full advantage of it. Mostly entertaining. That's a weird, like, Southern Australian accent. And I think he's going to be trying to influence some of the NPCs here. Specifically, we may want to take a look. And this is metagaming for sure. We may want to take a look at some of the more, hostile NPCs here aboard the ship. We've got these two unfriendly NPCs. All of these ones were neutral to begin with. And that's a problem now, because actually, now that things have changed a little bit, and this didn't save, these two should be unfriendly. So we're looking at white and red. And then Barefoot and Jack were... Why didn't this save? I did this recently. I redid this. They're good. They like the crew. Oh, it should be black. And so all of these folks became unfriendly at a certain point just because of the way that Master Scourge and Mr. Plugg have been dealing with them. So it's going to be kind of hard to move them up. But also at a certain point, how much do I care about the entertainment? About the, you know... But he's going to keep doing that. Hazlen's all about what people think of him, how much they like him. And so I think after his story, some of the pirates began dispersing. Oh wow, this seriously didn't save. Good, whatever. We've got this other gnome. So I think there's this gnome, and she's neutral good, so she may be unfriendly, but she's not a bad person. So as he's kind of standing there and people like walk away and they're like, he sees the gnomish woman kind of looking at him through one eye, leaning up against the wall. Hey, Giffer. Right. Hey, Hazlen. Your story was pretty magnificent. However, much of it was true. Most of my stories are partially always true. Partially always true. I don't know too much about that, Hazlen. You do seem to spin a tall tale. Oh, please don't mind me, Giffer. Besides, you'd know a thing or two about tall tales. I'm sure you've got plenty to spin of your own. Nope. Oh, well, I'm not one for spinning tall tales. I really mostly just kind of see it how it is. Oh, right. Well, tell me, how is it then, Giffer? Everyone seems to be in good spirits aboard the ship. Go ahead and give him a diplomacy check. We're looking at DC. She's unfriendly, so we're looking at DC 19. Luckily, he's rolling a +9 to this. +2, 21, because of his tail. All this action. Move. Differ to indifferent. Listen, Hazlen, you seem like a right chap. And to be honest, I'm mostly just trying to keep my head down. But I should tell you. What's that, Giffer? I was saying I should tell you that you'd better watch your back around here. I'm not trying to threaten you or anything. It's just there are people on board that don't seem to like you very much. In fact, what do you mean don't seem to like me? Please, keep your voice down, Hazlen, for once in your goddamn life. All of a sudden, there's this like air of seriousness. Hazlen looks at her. all right, I'll keep my voice down. I'm saying, I'm not very close with anyone here on board, but that means that for the most part they don't see me or pay attention to me much. I wanted to say that I overheard people talking, and well, it seemed to get on some of the officers' nerves. And well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. It's just they're worried about you. I've only been trying to do my best. Yeah, Hazlen, it's just... Listen. What's her name? Sorcerer. Sailing Master Peppery Longfarthing. I overheard her speaking and, well, she seems to think you're a snake thief. I wouldn't know anything to say to that, but she was definitely talking to the bosun and Mr. Plugg, and well, they're keeping a good watch on you. So just be careful, all right? Right, I'll be careful, Giffer. Thanks for the tip. Listen, you want to split a cup of rum? So we'll go with action 3 on this one. And we'll give him another diplomacy check and move her to friendly. This goes down to a 14. Easy. In fact, he spends most of the night talking to Giffer. And now she's helpful. And in the morning, he maybe even ends up going to bed with her. But actually, that's a question, I think, for the motif storytelling engine. Let's see. We're going to roll some dice here. And we're going to ask, do Giffer and Hazlen end up going to bed together? We're going to roll 2d6. And we'll also... Oh, 2 6s. We're also going to pull our hero card for this. So if you haven't been here before, the motif storytelling engine, that's what we're using to emulate a GM and to help emulate some of the other characters here on board the ship. You can see here you typically roll 3d6 and each d represents a specific thing here. You can see the first one represents the answer, yes, no, maybe. This one's a strong yes. The degree, powerful, vital, or maximum. They have a very nice night together. Well, they have a very powerful, they have a very vital, like the energy that comes from it. And then the third die is for the flavor. In the spirit of Pathfinder, we are using our digital hero deck here to help determine flavor. The Mountain Man, chaotic neutral. Chaos. Let's see what this says. Hero card. Chaotic neutral, what? Constitution. The Mountain. This week's hero card, the Mountain Man, is a very big deal. Literally. When the Mountain Man is in your path, you'd best step out the way. The giant is a symbolic of any force that we cannot control, and that can mean anything from a higher authority to a natural disaster. It's aligned chaotic neutral, meaning that it sweeps through our lives with no regard to the damage it may cause. The true focus is not only on the house at his feet, but also on the dead lizard he's carrying. We can see this dead lizard here. We look back on the roll 20. That's not a lizard. That's like a gigantic crocodile. What does the lizard represent? It's lost its encounter with the Mountain Man, crushed under his power. Meanwhile, the house remains standing strong and solid. When the Mountain Man appears in a spread, it's usually about a warning that we are about to face a challenge we cannot escape or back away from. Something that we have no choice to endure. What does this mean for our story here today? For
Hazlen and Gifford to go to bed together. It represents something unavoidable and something that directly is going to affect his life and the story in a way that cannot be contained or reversed. Am I crazy? I think Gifford gets pregnant from tonight's action. I think we're going with... It also sounds weird to say Gifford gets pregnant. No. Hazlen and Gifford get pregnant. Takes two to make this sort of thing. Here's a Constitution card. Sorry, so stupid. Okay. Furiosa and... What's Hazlen's next? Well, now I'm tempted to see about Hog and Spear. But I also don't think... I don't know. Let's see. I think let's go back to Spear. He is probably sitting with his friends at this point. If Hazlen's, away, maybe like over here with Gifford, I would leave Sandara and Rosie and Cog. Conchabar and Rosie, they've got their thing going on, so go to them. Nope. Hello, Rosie. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck me. What do you want, Conchabar? Well, if you request, I could do so. No, that's not what I fucking meant, okay? God, why the hell did you get to go into battle and not me? You're like a scrawny little thing. Oh, but it was my voice that helped carry us to victory. Your voice. I'm sorry, but your voice only seems to get on my last fucking nerve, Conchabar. Perhaps if you were to listen more closely, or it could instead soothe your nerves, Miss Caswell. The last thing I want is for you to help us soothe me, Conchabar. I'm surprised to not even see a scratch on you. Not true. There is some blood on my coat, and he points down. Oh well, shit. No, shit. Are you okay? Aha, yes. It was Miss Quinn, Mistress Priestess Quinn, I suppose I should say, who helped to heal my wounds after the battle. Well, you're lucky Sandara was around then, I guess. She's a pretty powerful bitch. I would not call her so much. She is a lady of good standing. Yeah, I meant it friendly like. Jeez, calm the fuck down. Miss Caswell, I do not understand you. You are so fiery and full of life. Joie de vivre. Yeah. You got anything useful to say? Well, I could show you some of my moves. And he pulls out his sword cane. Well, that's not a bad-looking weapon. Bear in mind, by the way, the text here specifically says that Rosie there is a part, as much as she likes to give him shit, she does like the way he talks to her. There is something in the attention. So we're going to put her at indifferent, I think, with Conchabar. And we're going to give Conchabar a diplomacy check. Because he is a bard, he should be pretty good at these. Nope. Just a +3 for Conchabar. So she's starting at indifferent. Let me pull up Rosie's character sheet, because she's got some charisma. No, she's got no charisma. So this is actually a 15. He needs to roll a 15 on this to sway her a little bit to friendly. 22 contra bar. You nasty fuck. All right, let me see that. And she goes and she grabs the sword cane and sword shaft handle and pulls it out of the. Oh, you grasped my blade so masterfully. Don't be disgusting, Contrabar. She giggles a little bit. Oh, whatever you wish, Miss Caswell, I will be. As quiet or as loud as you'd like me. I bet you're just so used to getting women to do whatever you want, aren't you? I must admit that you have presented quite a challenge in the last few weeks that we've been together at sea. And is that all you see me as? A fucking challenge? A mountain to be climbed? No, if you wished, you could climb me. Do you always have to speak in fucking double entendres? No, I do not. Your attitude and ferocity puts me on my guard. I must admit, and so my dueling wit comes out to play. Often, Contrabar looks a little lost. Maybe he turns and leans. I guess they're both small, so maybe they're higher up. Let's move them over here, so they can look out at the scene from these boxes that they're on. I must admit that sometimes I do not know how to speak to you. Normally, I'm never lost for words. Contrabar, if you weren't so fucking, gallant all the time, you'd be easier to speak with. Gallant? Do you think me so dashing? It's not so much dashing. Most times, I think you're full of fucking shit. But... Oh, is there a but, Miss Caswell? I would be so happy if there was a but in our future. See, that's what I mean. We're about to have a serious, intimate conversation, and you're just kind of... Well... Sorry. There's silence. Apology accepted, Contrabar. Okay, question. Do these two pirates go to bed together? It is a night of celebration. We are going to count this as one of Spear's actions, because, believe it or not, Spear was watching ever so slightly. He does not think fondly of Contrabar. In fact, he is very, very suspicious of Contrabar. The two of them do not like each other. And so when he sees Rosie go off with her, he begins to think, this could be bad. This could be very, very bad. But we're going to go ahead and roll that 2d6 to see if these two make something of it. This is, Contrabar has turned Rosie friendly. And who knows? It'd be nice to get a little romance going on between. No, that's a 1. That's a hard fucking... And indeed, we are going to pull a... So that's a hard no. But actually, is it so hard? A 1 and a 5. Strong, major, or overwhelming? Yeah, it is a very hard no. But we're going to go ahead and pull a hero card to see the flavor of this action. The beating. Oh, we've seen this before. This happened with Cog. When I was trying to figure out, does Cog like Spear? Make no mistake, the beating is not a subtle card. Beating is about being under attack from all sides and fronts. Key to surviving the beating is to remain sure of ourselves. It means that we will likely find a new strength as a result of the attacks. So, I think that's easy enough here. Despite the fact that let's go back to the contrabar here. Oops, I wanted to show you the beating. Right there. So let's go back to contrabar. Oh, so Miss Caswell, well, you've been speaking long, and the rum and the stars are getting to me. Would you accompany me? No. He doesn't even say. He just leans over. Ooh. Whoa. Contrabar, listen. I just started to like you tonight, okay? Don't get the wrong idea. We're not. That's not. Oh? But, Miss Caswell, you've been so kind to me tonight. Rest assured, I see through your intentions. And just know I will not stop chasing after your affection. Well, I don't, she's like, I don't know what to say to that. And she runs off. We come back down here where our pirate, Spear and Sandara and Cog are hanging out. We've got some more actions to go through. I think we can go through these pretty quickly. Look, we're kind of in a love triangle at this point. Sandara and Spear, I don't think anything's building between them besides platonic and professional affection, if that makes sense. She saw him as someone to help, to be an ally, to protect her. Cog, on the other hand, has seen him as a strong fighter and an attractive man. And Spear is just trying to survive the situation, but he likes them both. Sandara's been super nice. They have their their religion in combo, and despite the fact that Cog is worships Phasmara. Maybe if I say it a couple more times. Pharasma. There we go. Imitsu. Yeah. Despite the fact that Cog worships Pharasma, they have faith in common there as well. The fact that they all three worship chaotic, or rather neutral deities helps a lot as well. So, I wonder how this conversation goes. We're having a three-way convo now. Let's see. Where is he? I really wish I could have gotten out there, joined the fray. Why did... What is it, Cog? You can say. You think I shouldn't have gone. You should have gone in my stead. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, well, we could have both gone. I did just as well as you in the boarding school. The boarding school. Wouldn't call what we did with Master Gunner Crime a school properly. Is correct. Spear says, "You, if anything, Cog did better at boarding practice than you did, Sandara. But Cog, I had a choice, and well, Sandara, her magics, they were very useful. I appreciate that, Thea, but I'm more than just my magics. What else? What else do you have then?" Well, Cog, I'm not quite sure what I need to defend myself. If anything, what is it that you have that would have been so useful on board the Man's Promise? It is also true, Spear says. Cog, you seem strong man. And he kind of looks him up down and then catches Cog's eye, and they're both like, how is your fighting skill? Well, I've been a strong fighter.
I've gotten into plenty of scrapes, and, well, I'm not afraid of death, that's for sure. Sometimes one should be afraid of death, but I feel you, there are worse things than death as well. Plenty worse things, like not dying at all, being brought back. When I go, I want to make sure I go to that great bone graveyard up in the sky. Bone graveyard? Is that what happens when we die? Yes, Pharasma's place. She makes sure that all the souls go to where they need to be. First, they go through the graveyard, and then from there, they get sorted out to their rightful places in heaven or hell. That's correct. If we're lucky, Spear, we may end up serving Besmaran in her pirate fleet. I'm not so sure I want to serve for the rest of my afterlife. I'd rather sleep or not do anything. Not do anything sounds right to me. Life is hard enough, Cog says. I don't need my afterlife to be filled with strife and battle as well. I want to serve properly here and then move on and get my well-deserved rest. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and roll another motif story engine. The question is not whether or not these three go to bed together. That's not in the cards. At least I don't think they are. They might be, actually, if we pull it out right. The question here is, does this conversation go well? Do these three people leave the conversation in tonight's celebration thinking more highly of each other? Because we got, remember, we're looking for yes or no answers. Well, all in all, it doesn't seem like this conversation is very strong. No, they don't leave the conversation thinking more highly of one another. That doesn't necessarily mean they think more negatively of one another. And the second two is flawed, minor, or modest. So, all in all, even with the flavor card we're about to pull, excuse me, this conversation is not terribly meaningful in the big picture of things. Where's my hero card? Ooh, the Brass Dwarf. So we're looking at lawful neutral constitution. The Brass Dwarf hero. There's fire. I think what we see here is more of a conversation of a conversation between associate and professional. The Brass Dwarf is someone who is cool in the hottest time. So that's a good point. These three people are quite stoic in their perspectives and their pursuits. The Brass Dwarf is perhaps a true embodiment of the suit of shields as it relates to everyday life. He represents ultimate endurance in the face of overwhelming danger. The true neutral cards tend to represent the pure essence of their respective suits. So we're looking the same with the giant here, the mountain man rather. We're looking at constitution and it's a neutral, so it's all about that endurance. But in that respect, we're looking at chaos, something unavoidable and unexpected. The Brass Dwarf is, I would say, as a lawful card, is expected, practical, logical, even. So, when the Brass Dwarf appears in a spread, he is often a symbol of staying strong through dark times, encouraging us to maintain our composure, even while we feel like everything is lost. I like that. So, these three, talk about, I think maybe we're sharing more tales or tips and tricks. Sandara speaks about, I wish I could have been a little bit more useful in a martial aspect. Well, I could show you a thing or two about wielding a blade, Cog says. What kind of weapon does Cog use? Import his Crimson Cogword. What a name. This Varisian man. He's got a cutlass. I could show you a thing or two about, wielding a blade.
and hey, maybe you even want to. You've got a more live build. You may want to switch to a ranged weapon at some point in time. Well, I've got my crossbow, but I've got to say it's pretty heavy. I'm not quite. I don't know. I feel equally skilled with either one of them. And the night kind of continues on like that. The three of them talking. I think so that counts as Spear's fourth or fifth action. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And we come to middle of the night. Let's head back to our adventure path. We pour. Hey. Captain Harrigan. Camera rolls upward. And we go into Captain Harrigan's office, where him and several officers have taken all of the coin and treasure that they've pulled off of the man's before partying properly. We can see Captain Harrigan. We can see Captain Harrigan standing over and moving things around. He looks at Mr. Plugg, maybe he's like moving some things around. And Master Scourge maybe like puts a few coins in his pocket. And there are other officers there as well who I don't have pictures for because they have not featured heavily in Adventure Path. They do their thing. But they've stayed out of the narrative for the most part. And I'm gonna go ahead and divvy up some coin. We'll focus, I think, on... Sorry. Well, it should be the four pirates who did their thing. This is going between Spear, Hazlen, Conchabar, and Sandara. They were the ones who took part in the... So, in addition, all of our other pirates will get 150 gold as their booty. All pirates plus one. So, Spear, Hazlen, Conchabar, and Sandara will each get 150 GP. When I'm talking about all pirates, by the way, I'm talking about the ones who didn't take part in the action. I'm talking about Rosie. I'm talking about Crimson. I'm talking about some of the generic NPC pirates that are also our friends. I'm also talking about who is it? Riaris, the owlbear, the officers here, and then there is where's Master Grok? Where is she? Control R refreshes the page. Wonderful. Aftermath. Anyway, that's who I'm talking about. All of those folks. There she is. Grok and Croup as well, our chef and the quartermaster. But for our 4 PCs, they took the aft deck and stern castle within 6 rounds. Easy. So they're in addition going to receive, this is as a group, 3 cure mods, potion of invisibility, plus 100 BP each. Very nice. The PCs are also going to receive, because in the thick of things,
Hazlen decided to send Hawk, his Seagull familiar, to go and warn Captain Harrigan as that sailor was sneaking up behind him. He'll also get a amulet of natural armor. +1. They did not kill that sailor, so they're not getting the +1 short. For each Rahadumi sailor killed by the PCs, they receive 25 GP to divide up amongst themselves. Well, let's fucking go and see how many we killed. These were all killed by other pirates. We've got 1, 2, 3. Let me double check that they're not standing on each other. Ooh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus 9 times 25 GP. How much is that? 9 times 25? More than 100. 225 GP to split up amongst them. We did not kill the Rahadumi officer. Taken hostage. So that's an additional 200 GP to split up amongst them. For each pirate accidentally killed, deduct 150 from the party's room. I can't think of any. Well, I think I decided early that didn't happen. So, a lot. 4 of them are in total. We're looking at 225 plus 200 divided by 4. So that's 106 gold plus 25 silver, or something like that. Plus 25 silver? Yeah. Then in addition, they're getting an extra 250 each. All 4 of them each are getting 356 gold. Wow, that's well worth it. The last 2 weeks of being shat on and working these ropes. Oh my gosh, I missed a Rahadumi sailor. So that's actually 4. Not 225, 250. 250, 50 divided by 4 plus 250. So each get 362 gold and 50 silver. Plus those potions, your moderates, and potion of invisibility, and the amulet of natural armor, which is going to Hazlen. So, as dawn breaks, we've got Captain Harrigan, and he's like summoning all the pirates together. Come here, come here. I'd say I'm proud of you, but you did your job. That's what's expected of you. And here, because you did what was expected of you, you're getting what you should expect. Your gold. Oh! And all the pirates, yeah! Oh! Oh! Begin to cheer. I think we've got Briaris, who's like whispering in the captain's ear, and she goes, Hazlen, Spear, get your sorry asses over here. They walk up, followed by Conchabar and Dara. You did good, Hazlen. Your little friend there, Hawk. That's his name, right? What a stupid name for a tough-looking bird. Well, I wanted to name him something else, honestly, but the damned seagull continues to insist that he's more of a hawk, really. Right, I had a mighty fine time with him on my shoulder, and to thank you for the warning you gave me, I'd like to give you this. He nods, and the Master Gunner, Master Crine hands him a amulet with a shell on it. Oh, well, gee, thanks. I super appreciate this, Captain. And he gives a salute and he puts it on. The rest of you, well done. Here, take these. And he clinks down the bottles of 4 potions. And, of course, a little extra gold to, A little extra gold to, pad your pockets. Now, be on with you. And they all kind of scurry off a little bit. Oh, I must say, Contrabar is looking at his back. This must be the most gold I've made in 2 weeks. Ever. Oh, really, Contrabar? Hazlen says, I would have expected a man of your means to be used to seeing such heavy, high piles of gold. Unfortunately not, Hazlen, my friend, but I want to thank you. And he begins shaking the other gnome's hand very thoroughly. I want to thank you if you had not taken me with. I barely would have received less than half of this. Conchaba, I gotta say, your inspiring voice. What was that? Was that a Galtian version of No Regrets? I'm so glad you recognized it. Right, well, I can't speak Galt, but No Regrets is a pretty popular gnomish song. Yes, one that my forefathers sang as they went off to war themselves. Meanwhile, we go to Spear and Sandara, who are on the side of the boat, and he kind of looks over at her. How much do we give? About 10% usually is a proper tithe. Without Besmara, we wouldn't have gotten this far, Spear. I don't know about you, but I fully believe that she brought us together for a reason. Do you think Besmara brought us together? His voice is my accent's getting all weird with him. I think Besmara has more controls over the seas and the currents than we think. One would expect. I don't often think that she has plans or anything like that, but I don't know. She looks up at the night sky. I believe that Besmara wants us to worship her as any mortal person would want, for power and out of greed. And I think that following those instincts, Spear, is the best way to survive and to build a life for oneself out of power and greed. Sandara, I'm a little surprised you've been so helpful. Don't mistake my helpfulness for kindness, Spear. I like you. But I like you, and I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I'm not necessarily a good person. I want to survive and be rich and powerful myself. I do not know if power is something that I strive for. If Besmara has blessed you as you think she has, then it definitely is, Spear, and I would recommend leaning into that. Now, 10%, like I said. So Spear goes and counts out, what is that, 36 gold coins. Spear and Sandara drop 36 BP to the ocean. There you go, Spear. Rightfully done. And he's like, I'm not too happy about this. Well, I'm glad you did it either way. Honestly, I'm a little worried. Normally other pirates would be more... And she kind of turns around at that point, and she sees
I would say like maybe like 6 or 7 or other pirates behind her. Kind of like, hey, Mistress Quinn, would you bless my tithing to Besmara? Yeah, I just wanted to, thank her for getting us through this battle easy enough. I mean, it couldn't hurt, right? If we'll drop a little gold, we've got so much to spare. And Sandara kind of smiles. Of course. Besmara blesses each and one of you, and we'll watch over you. We'll watch over you in your future sailings, as long as you pay the appropriate price. I think as we watch these pirates and the kind of early dawn light drop their gold over the side of the ship, the sun kind of comes up. We get like a bit of a montage as maybe like a few pirates are sleeping off some of the rum, but as dawn comes up, the ship's bell sounds. It looks like some of the officers haven't slept, or maybe only got a few hours, and the crew is assembled on board the ship. And I'm going to switch up the music a little bit. No, that's not right. Which is it? Maybe this one. The crew's assembled. And Captain Harrigan, going back to the AP now. The crew's assembled a long line of captured officers and sailors. Man's promise is brought on deck out of the brig, the bilge, where they were being held. I don't have any other music. This will have to do. Captain Harrigan turns to them. All right. We've taken your ship fair and square. Piracy. To be honest, no one ever said piracy was fair. But we've overpowered ye. We've taken control of your ship. Nah. I want to offer you a place here on the Wormwood. Just like some of my fellow crew members who beat you within an inch of your lives. They didn't get the choice. They were taken, press-ganged, and yet they serve willfully and loyally. Hold on, what am I? Willfully. Think about that for a moment while I address my crew. And he turns to the rest of them. Mr. Plugg keeps a close eye on the prisoners. All right, you scurvy tars. You've done a right good job by me. We've got a second ship now, and she's quite a prize from the looks of her. But I still only have one crew, so here's the plan. The Wormwood will sail on to our planned destination here with our new shipmates. Whoever wishes to join, while Mr. Plugg will pick a skeleton crew to sail the man's promise to Port Peril, which will be worth a pretty penny as salvage. Mr. Plugg begins eyeing the main crew of the Wormwood with a weird, gleeful look in his eye. As for these fine fellows here, thems who don't join me, well, some of them will no doubt be worth a hefty ransom from their families back in Azir and Rahadum. And for the rest of them, if the life of a pirate's not for them, they can spend the rest of their lives at sea. Harrigan goes and grabs one of the Rahadumi sailors and lifts her up by the back of her shirt and grabs with his other hand, grabs her waistband and throws her overboard and into the sea. Many of the sailors begin scrambling to swear their loyalty. And I think, more specifically, we see the Where is she? The Rahadumi woman. Amongst the crew who...
Fine. If it's between ransom, I've got no family to ransom me from. And if it's between life and death, I'll choose life every time. I'll be a part of your crew.
When Master Scourge, who's like kind of like taking notes and writing down names, asks for her name.
What's your name, lass? What's your name, lass?
My name is Rumi. Rumi... What was the name I picked for her? Rumi Astuit.
All right, Rumi, you're a member of the Wormwood now. Fall in line.
And she does just that. So, as the officers are led below decks, some of the other officers begin being led below decks and back into the bilge. They're not swearing loyalty, and they're worth a ransom. And at that point, Mr. Plugg and Master Scourge approach some of the Wormwood crew. I think Mr. Plugg approaches Spear and Hazlen. Well, what an exciting evening. Don't you think, Spear?
Yes, Mr. Plugg.
I'm a little tired now, but it's been pretty exciting 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a part of a boarding party before, and, well, I can't wait till we do it again.
Well, fortunately, Spear, Hazlen, you've been selected to join the skeleton crew for the man's promise. And he smiles evilly and laughs. You've got 10 minutes to gather what you need and meet me on board the new ship.
10 minutes? I better run.
And holding his hat, Hazlen runs down the stairs to start gathering his stuff. It won't take me long. I'll just grab my foot locker. But there's something in Mr. Plugg's eyes that makes Spear halt and think and wonder. So I'm going to give Spear a quick sense motive check. 15. What's the DC for this? We're trying to get a hunch. A hunch is a DC 20. So he's not bluffing, but there is a hunch. I think he knows something's wrong. Spear thinks. He's like, hi, Mr. Plugg. And he goes, let's say Spear actually goes over to Vendara, who's just been selected as well, and they begin making their way down. I don't know if this is going to work out so well. You're telling me, Spear, Mr. Plugg and Master Scourge in charge of the new ship? Just us aboard? It can't be good. It won't be good. Well, better make the best of it, I suppose. I've got to switch some things up. I had an idea. It can't be good, it won't be good, Andaris. Where's she? I need Gaffer. I originally wasn't going to bring Gaffer on board, but I do definitely want her there now. So that means we're going to get rid of these two who were loyal. Oh. Well, let's see in a moment. We're going to move things to the man's promise. So maybe before we get there, actually, Hazlen runs down into the galley. Croup! Who stops when he sees Chef Croup packing his things.
Oh, what are you doing?
Well, the time has come. I guess
The captain's had enough of me, Chef Croup says. And well, I've been selected to be a part of the skeleton crew over on the Men's Promise.
Well, that's great. Oh, I'm over there too. But wait, no one's going to be able to cook for this new crew, I suppose.
Right, it's just... I have been set. Why his accent always runs away from me? Well, it's just I've been serving on the Windward for so many years now, and well, there's a pit in my stomach to think about serving under the new first mate on a different ship.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about it, Croup. I mean, it's a chance to see new ports, and new stars, new seas, and well, it wouldn't be such a bad thing to go back to Port Peril, huh? Maybe we could even jump ship there and start up some different action, eh?
Oh, Hazlen, you've got a good spirit. I'm proud to say that. I'm glad you're coming with. I don't know what I would do, and at that point, the door bursts open.
Oh, Croupy!
Quartermaster Grok is crying. Croup! The half-orc woman is just like, her face is just covered in dirt, in tear stains, dirty tear stains. I don't want you to leave. Oh, Grok, it's okay. The chef like pats her on the back, and they hold each other, kind of swaying drunkenly. Hazlen, thinks for a moment as maybe his seagull hawk like flies out of the room away from all the alcoholic fumes.
Oh, it's not true. It's not true. You've been serving so well.
Yeah, well, I can't say I've been serving that well. In fact, if it weren't for Hazlen here, well, there'd be many nights in the last few weeks where we'd probably go hungry.
Oh, Croupy!
They're crying. Normally at this point, Cutthroat Grok, she would give them a gift. If they've befriended any of the PCs, she'd give them a gift worth 100 GP from the store party. Croup goes to the walls and he begins pulling some stuff down. He pulls like one of his boarding pikes. He gets this, I think he's got this nice grappling hook as well. And Grok runs to the stores. No, stay here, Croup. I'm gonna get something for you. Let's go and look what's in the quartermaster. Ooh, hiccups. Let's go and see what's in the quartermaster's. Candle of Truth, Potion of Haste. That's more than 100 GP. That's for sure. Maybe a Masterwork Buckler. +1 short sword. Rolls. Always a nice wand would be nice. That might be 100 weapons. This Wand of Bless weapon. What is it? The potions are all little... Maybe a potion of barks. Should have thought about this beforehand. What does Grok give him? Croupy! I'm gonna miss you so much! What is this Candle of Truth? That's what I'm curious about. Let's look it up. Truth. And does she recognize it? This is worth $12.50. The candle's snuffed before that time. The effect is cancelled and the candle ruined. Well, she's not giving him that. That's way too much. I think the Wand of Bless weapon. But also, like, what are Croup's skills even? He's got a level in Rogue, I'm pretty sure. Fishguts Croup. Yeah, he's got 3 levels in Rogue, actually. Club Dagger Resiliency. He actually doesn't have very much in the way of gear. I thought he had more.
he's got some stuff in his galley, so he grabs all of that stuff. And she goes. Let's move along and she goes into the store and she brings out like a bag and she says, "Croupy, take this with you."
Oh, Grok, you don't have to do this. I'm serious. We'll see each other again. No worries about it.
Oh, Grok. Croup. So they begin crying. Hazlen's just kind of watching. He gets his stuff and hurries over to the other side of the ship. Well, I think so. When we start boarding the man's promise, hold on. Let me look at the AP again once. The skeleton crew of the man's promise includes Mr. Plugg, Master Scourge, Owlbear, Hartshorn, and all the surviving members of the Wormwood's original crew of sailors, as well as the people Ambrose, Croup, Contrabar, Shortstone, and Sandara Quinn. At this stage, ensure that there are at least 8 Wormwood pirates loyal to Plugg and Scourge. If there are not enough loyal pirates, make up the numbers with Rahadumi sailors who are grateful. Yeah, well, so that means we should actually have more people on board. Oh, a lot more, actually. What do we've got? We've got Phipps, we've got Badger, quite a bit of people. I feel like there should be more. I did put at least 8. Because, okay, so let's be clear. I have them separated here. Rumi, she isn't necessarily on either side now, although she hates Mr. Plugg. So, but like, I think with the new crew, because there have to be at least 20 people to run the ship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 people. That's probably enough. I feel like that's good enough. I'll leave it at that. We've got some people who are technically loyal to Spear and Hazlen, mostly Spear. That's Jack Scrimshaw and Barefoot Sams. I also brought over Gaffer Tibbs, who kind of became super important just in the last hour of this stream, essentially. Once everyone is aboard with their gear, the man's promise. So, the ship begins to move. This acting captain, Mr. Plugg, and first mate, Master Scourge, gather the crew. Everyone, gather up! Mr. Plugg! Acting Captain Mr. Plugg would like to speak to you all.
Yes, thank you, Master Scourge. Welcome aboard the man's promise. As Captain Harrigan explained earlier this morning, we are sailing to Port Peril to salvage the ship and get some money, at which point we will wait for the Mr. Captain the Wormwood to return and to pick us up. The rules are the same. You all each have your jobs. We'll have to give you a new one, I suppose. He looks over at Rumi, who glares at him. Why don't you start today in the bilge, swapping? And she scowls even harder. But I will not be as lenient as Captain Harrigan has been. I think all the crew kind of looks at each other. Captain Harrigan's been pretty hands-off, all things considered. Mr. Plugg and Master Scourge have been giving the duties and giving the punishments. You will all have to work much harder to run this ship, as the crew is much smaller than it was before.
And also, since we have so much work to do, I will not be allowing any entertainment or gambling or games to happen below decks after sunset. Anyone caught above decks after dusk without leave gets 6 lashes with the cat. Also, there will be no rations of rum handed out with dinner. That is all, everyone. Please get to work. So I'm not going to be rolling duty skill checks for this. It's a bit much to like have to go through all of that every day, especially when it doesn't terribly matter that much. There is the chance for fatigue, which kind of will matter as things go on. But so as night falls, the sails of the Wormwood disappear for the horizon. And I'm trying to think like causes what's going to happen. The crew begins to disperse. So we've got 3 levels here for the man's promise. Oop. Lower decks, which is full of, maybe once was full. Most of that stuff would be on the Wormwood, all being moved over. Here are some quarters. Let's check. I'm kind of curious about. We've got the main deck, the foredeck. 2 10-foot square hatches sit in the main deck. And a steep set of wooden steps go down here. Yep, we saw that before. People were coming out of there. Then there's the foredeck on B2. B2. B2? That's B1. Where's B2? Anyway. Rises 10 feet above. The ship's nameplate on the hull reads Man's Promise. I'm going to give Spear and Hazlen a quick perception check as they're maybe looking around. We'll give it to Spear since he's actually working above decks. Hazlen immediately needs to go down into the galley and begin prepping dinner. So we'll see what that looks like for him in a minute. Hazlen and Croup. Thank God Croup's here. Oh, he might be drunk. What do we see? Spear's got a +5. 20. Okay. As he's walking, climbing in the rigging and checking the stuff, he sees that the nameplate on the hull that reads Man's Promise, it's got marks in the wood of the hull around it. And he kind of looks for, what's this? And moves at it a little bit. And as he pulls the nameplate off, he sees a second nameplate underneath it reading The Motley. Motley? What was this? What kind of ship was this? Did the Rahadum take it as well? Weird. Then we've got the aft deck. Ship's wheel over there, the stern castle with the light ballistas. That's where we did most of our combat. The 2 ships' boat, one of them is gone now. A cutter and gig. Whatever, different types of boats. Then we've got B6 over here, the officer's quarter. 2 portholes to allow light and fresh air to enter. Mr. Plugg assigns Master Scourge and those pirates loyal to him this cabin. He also instructs the 2 NPCs who are most loyal to the PC sleep here, aiming to keep an eye on them. So, Scourge, Owlbear. There aren't that many things in here, though. I'm only reading, 3 3, God, what are they called? What are these things called? Hammocks in here. So Owlbear's not staying in here. Master Scourge. Okay, so we go to Mr. Plugg. Yes, of course, the sleeping arrangements. Well, I'll be taking the captain's quarters, obviously. And Master Scourge, you'll be sleeping underneath the foredeck with Phipps. Phipps and Aretta. No, Slippery. Why don't you two go in there? And also, there's space enough, I think, for more. Is it? No. Let's move Syl out of here. Phipps is gonna go down there, but we're gonna move Sandara in. Sandara, you'll be sleeping there as well. But acting Captain Plugg, Mr. Plugg, I certainly do hope that you're not speaking back to me on our first day at sea. No, Captain. Looks over at Spear, who gives her a concerned look. If you're so worried about sleeping with in the same room as Master Scourge over there, who kind of gives a scowl when he says that, why don't you take your halfling friend in there, Miss Cuswell? Me? What? You want me to sleep in there as well? Yes. Why don't you take that room? Well, I think he gives Master Scourge a look. Shit, fuck. That's scary that he puts them in there. Okay, then there's the captain's cabin. So I will take the captain's cabin, and Owlbear, if you would be so kind, there's plenty of space for you to sleep as well. The Owlbear is going to move in there. Hey, then let's move on up. We're down to the middle deck. We've got the middle deck and the armory. The middle hold of the man's promise is currently empty, though the weapon racks along the wall here only need to be restocked to turn it into a working armory. The second set of stairs against the aft bulkhead lead up to the main deck, so we've got up and down. We've got the crew berths. All of the PCs and their friends go to these berths, except for the 2 NPCs with an eye on. So all of these PCs are going to go down here, as well as some of the others. Only makes sense. Oh, gee. Oh, so used to having my own room. It's a shame that I can't sleep on my own anymore, Jeff Krupp says. There's plenty of space down here. Why would they stick everyone into this room? This is the thing with these APs. Sometimes they don't fucking make sense. I also think maybe there's supposed to be more crew on board, but you need they specifically say the crew is too small, you have to do extra work. And the ship also needs 20 people to function. So I'm getting lost somewhere here in the math. We're going to move Phipps, and especially because they give me this map with all these hammocks, we're going to move Phipps down. So it's Rosie, Sandara, and Scourge, and it's creepy. Especially because we know that Sandara and Scourge have been that Scourge has been trying to get with her for a little while. Ugh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So we've got these other pirates. We're going to move them in. There's also this room B11, so maybe Ambrose will get his own. Let's see. B10 is the Galley, right here. So Hazlen and Krupp step in there. Oh, well, this galley seems to be quite sizable. Not a little light, and Krupp goes to shine, kind of wipe off the single porthole in here. Chef Krupp, looks like there's a trap door here that leads into secure storage, but it's locked. It's locked. DC 30 disable device.
Better call the owlbear down. Maybe he can break it off for us. Because that would lead to B13 down here. You can get there through the stairs. Then there's the cook's cabin. This filthy cabin contains 2 dirty hammocks. Ambrose Croup sleeps here. So he opened it. Oh, well, look at this. Oh, nice little room for me. Hazlen, would you want to sleep in here? I'm so used to having a roommate. Oh, gee, well, that's awfully nice of you. Chef Croup, you know, you don't have to do that. Right, but, Hazlen, without you, I don't think I would have gotten as far as I did in the last few weeks. And, well, between you and me, I managed to stash a small barrel of rum down here. You and me you can become my new drinking partner. Oh, drinking partner, eh? Gee, to be honest, I don't think I can hold my rum as well as Cutthroat Grok could, but, well, Croup, Lutz, I promise to do my best. Then we've got the main hold downstairs. B12. Essentially empty after being looted by the crew of the Wormwood. There's a large water barrel in there. And a trap door near the main mast leak. Bilge it. We've got secure storage, which probably has a lock that's been broken off as well and is currently empty. Hey. Okay. So, nightfall. Feels weird not doing the skill check. I'm also like, what am I doing now? Where am I going? What's happening? I've got about 30 minutes left in this. And everyone heads below decks. I'm going to give my crew... Well, here's the thing. Here's where things get iffy. So, as night falls, Sandara and Rosie are in here. The Master Scourge kind of... all right, ladies. Make sure you stay in here. No funny business, huh? And he steps out. They kind of look at each other like, what? And I think... let's give Rosie... stealth check here, +6. I'm gonna creep open. +14. The Rosie creeps open. Sorry. Pulling up more character sheets. The Wormwood Pirates. They get +1 perception against her seeing them. Oh, natural 20. They see her. They absolutely see her. Damn it. So, but yeah, we see... I think everyone's probably seen... you know, a lot of these pirates here, like, moving up and into the upstairs. So everyone but Jack and Barefoot. Everyone but Jack and Barefoot differ. Would be the ones who go up there. So literally all of these pirates go in there. Plus this. So when everyone sees them leave, they're like, what's going on? I thought something was up. So I think Rosie, we're going to count her stealth checks. He sees what's going on, and she's going to sneak over here and listen in. Gets noticed. I'm going to go check it out, Rosie says to Sandara. Rosie, no, you... I'm sure whatever it is, just be careful, all right? Yeah, don't worry about me. So we get into this room over here. Hazlen's too busy drinking, and Spear's going to be talking to Rumi. She puts her head up against the door, and we're going to give her a perception. We know she's going to get noticed.
but we'll see if she can really hear what's happening. Or nothing. She has her ear to the door, and she's like desperately trying to listen. And all she can hear is like kind of mumbling. Definitely Mr. Plugg. But the door opens, and Owlbear steps out, sees her, picks her up. Owlbear.
Hey, boss. Look what we've got.
Well, Scaswell, you should be in your cabin, shouldn't you? I wanted to see what the fuck you were all doing in here. But really, that's none of your business, is it, Miss Caswell? I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to punish you for this. And the camera cuts away as we hear the cat of nine tails. Ka! Ka! And Rosie cries out in pain. I think a little while later, brought back to her room, where Sandara, Rosie, oh my god, are you all right? And Rosie's just, I'm not even going to roll the damage for it. She's unconscious, probably, most likely. And Sandara goes and heals her with her magic. Rosie, what happened? They caught me. They fucking caught me, Sandara. I don't know what it is, but something's going on. They're planning something. I couldn't make out anything they were saying. I'm so sorry. No, don't be sorry. Your bravery is all that matters. You were so brave. We gotta figure out what's going on. We gotta talk to Spear. I know, but for now, we should stay up here. Or rather, we should stay inside before the door opens. Master Scourge walks back in. Well, ladies, having a good time, are we? They don't say, neither of them say anything. He goes to Nick. Just the three of us in here. Maybe we could find a way to pass the time. I shouldn't think that would be appropriate. Besides, we've got a long day ahead of us, Sandara says. I'd rather get some rest. Well, you're gonna need it, pretty lady. And Mr. Scourge licks his lips lasciviously. Heads into the bunk. Downstairs, after everyone leaves, Conchabar looks around. Well, what's that about? Was there some sort of party we weren't invited to? I don't know about party. He looks at Conchabar. We had a strong party last night, and, well, Mr. Plugg said himself, Spear says, that there should be no entertainment after hours. Well, I'm sure he's got his nope, that's not the voice. Oh, I'm sure he's got his favorites, Conchabar says. I don't like this Spear, Cog says. You think, what's going on? Is it not obvious? Rumi says from the across the room. They're clearly planning something. I would not trust that man if I were any of you. Believe me, Spear says, I do not trust him at all. Why are you here? Why am I here? Kind of a rude question. Where's her voice coming? No, I mean that you are one of the only Rahatumi sailors with us. I would think. I'm not sure what you think, but I'm not so sure I care either. Well, listen, we're all clearly in the same boat here, Spear says. And my friends... I am not your friend, Spear, Conchabar says. Cog, don't be such an ass... no, Cog speaks up. Shortstone, don't be such an asshole. There's some major shit happening here, and you want to talk about being friends or not? Grow the fuck up. Conchabar quickly shuts down. I'm going to go ahead and have Spear roll a diplomacy check. Rumi is unfriendly to him. She bested him. I mean, he spared her life, essentially, but that doesn't mean she needs to, like, respect him or trust him or anything like that, you know what I mean? And she is, the question is, why is she here? I think she is here as for revenge. For revenge. He killed her animal companion. So she's got a +1 charisma. We're looking at an unfriendly diplomacy check. We're looking at a 21 diplomacy check from Spear on this. Luckily, he's got his mythic surge. It's a new day, so we're going to go ahead and roll that diplome 6. Start with that. Rolling the dice. A 9. He says, I recognize we're all in the same boat, but for now, I have nothing to say to you. And he turns around. Yikes. Yikes. So the second day comes, and the crew begins working. Bad. Stick with the ocean. As the day begins, I think Sandara and Rosie, they get to Spear early in the morning. So kind of everyone's working out on deck. Most everyone. Move people around a little bit. Everyone but Rumi. He's down on the bilges, fortunately. So yeah, I think over here we've got Rosie and Spear and Sandara. Rosie runs up just like during the day. They're trying to be low-key about this. Hey, Spear. Yes, Rosie. Hey, did you see what happened last night? Everyone, all of Plugg's people, they're all talking in the quarter, the captain's offices last night. Yes, Rosie said she could hear them, Mr. Plugg, speaking to all of them, but we don't know about what. Well, I can't imagine it's anything good. No, I don't think so. Here's my fucking question, Rosie says. When we get to Port Peril, what the fuck happens? Can we leave? Are we going to be... I mean, there's not going to be a boat waiting to pick us up. Clearly, the Wormwood's not fucking heading in that direction. So, what Plugg said yesterday about us waiting for the Wormwood to pick us up, that's not real, right? That can't be real. He's not going to expect us, especially those of us who are fucking press-ganged, to just hang out in Port Peril and wait for our fucking slaver to come and pick us up. No fucking way. And as soon as he tries anything, at this point, Sandara's like, Rosie, calm down. We've got eyes on us. Master Scourge is looking in their direction. I do not know, Rosie. I can only surmise that Plugg might have... the Plugg has his own plans. Nope, that's not... Yeah, plans that definitely don't have anything good for us. I mean, Sandara and I, we're fucking sharing a room with the enemy. I cannot say that I am enthusiastic about our new roommate. I didn't get very much sleep last night. I'm sorry about that, but... What do you think we should do? Well, Rosie speaks up. I think that we need to fucking make a move before a move is made on us. Okay? You hear me? We head back, and the day goes by, I think, pretty... pretty normally. Otherwise, everyone's working really hard, trying to keep the ship running. And as night falls, we head down. We head back down into the galley. Dara and Rosie are lit up. Everyone else back below. Up. And this time there's no secret meeting or anything. The pirates stay where they are, but after dinner, maybe a group invites a few select people to... Well, let's see. This is hard. This is really hard. I'm getting to the point where, as a GM, it would be easy for me to like allow the players to kind of like play off themselves, have a conversation, and go from there about what I want to do, where like how I want to like start dropping kind of information. But as the GM and the player and the writer, I'm struggling in the moment, improv wise, to figure this out exactly, and like trying to decide like who knows what, who does what. And it's also because of the nature of living on a ship, everything's noticed by everyone. Group to come, be like, hey, yeah, would you like to come and share a drink with us? He can't just say that outright because we're not allowed to have rum. He snuck it aboard. But I think Hazlen can definitely be like, hey, Spear, well, you know Chef Croup, right? He wanted to talk to you. For me? Well, yeah, I wanted to talk to you too. Been listening to some of the Giffer, he was telling me this morning about how all of Plugg's men went upstairs for a secret conversation. Well, Croup's got some ideas. All right, I will come. And Contrabar, why don't you come too? Fear and Contrabar glare at each other, but they come nonetheless. Which leaves Cog and Giffer and Rumi in the room with the pirates. All right, well, Croup, Chef Croup, why don't you tell them what you were telling me? Oh, it's hard. Where is that accent? I'm not able to see much through this tiny little porthole down here, but managed to get a few glimpses up top and, well, the direction we're heading in. If let me just say this, if what the rumors are saying are true, and, well, we're not... Look, if it were me, and he kind of, like, takes a big gulp of... Oh, he takes a big gulp of his rum. If it were me, and I was in Mr. Plugg's shoes, and I had a crew that I didn't necessarily trust the most, and, well, I've known Plugg for a while, and he's been climbing the ladder pretty steadily, steadfastly, a little too quick, if you know what I mean. Crew, could you just, Spear kind of like, all in time, Hazlen. Well, yeah, right, to the point. To the point. Well, if I were Mr. Plugg, I wouldn't be heading to Port Peril at all. Too many eyes there, too many other free captains who would recognize him as a member of Captain Harrigan's crew, who is a free captain, mind you. He's got his own rights to lead a crew and to be part of a fleet here in the Shackles. If I were Plugg, I would be going to Rickety Squibs. What is Contrabar? Contrabar speaks up. What is Rickety Squibs? Well, Rickety Squibs is a dry dock on the slithering coast west of Blood Cove. For a price, he completely refits ships into squibs. New ships, new identities. Interesting. This ship
it already has been refitted. And the three of them all look at him like, what? What kind of nonsense are you speaking, Spear? I mean, well, if you look at the nameplate on the hull, it was originally called the Motley. My accent's all over the place now. Originally called the Motley. The second nameplate, then, well, even then it seems that the name of the ship has changed before that as well. I get the feeling that the ship has passed hands more than once. Right, well, either way, Rickety Hawk, Hake, well, he could completely change the ship's lines, silhouettes, whatever appearance otherwise to make it completely unrecognizable. So if I were Plugg, I'd be, and I had a game to be as greedy as he was, I might be heading there. That's an idea, right, Spear? You think? I mean, I'm not saying. Is Mr. Plugg mutiny? I would not dare to assume mutiny. What is the punishment for mutiny amongst the free captain? Well, clears his throat. Usually, it would be something along the lines of death, killing. But Mr. Plugg doesn't seem to mind that as much as, well, he seems to be pretty full of himself is what I'm trying to say. Mutiny. I hope, well, there's a crack of thunder. Better get to bed. I wonder, smells like a storm's coming. We'll probably get as much rest as we can. And the three other men, the human and the two gnomish, nod and make their way back to their hammock. That is the end of our stream today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, everyone. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This has become one of my favorite streams. As hard as it was for me to kind of figure out how this was going tonight, we've been on a rhythm the last. This was session 8, 2 months. 2 months and 2 weeks of game time. Crazy. Maybe 3 weeks, actual game time. We've been in a rhythm, we get up every morning, we do our duties, some things happen, and so on and so forth. But now, last week things changed a lot with the combat that we had over at hey, GG Wow, thanks for being here. I didn't even realize you were here. Thank you. I feel like I'm only picking up speed, but today was something different because I needed to find a way to show the way that the narrative pacing and the plot kind of is that arc that we just came over is starting to move in a new direction. And so, next week we'll be here yet again. More solo Pathfinder running through the Skull and Shackles adventure path. And stay tuned, the rest of the week. There are definitely more things coming. I can say with confidence that I am going to be a part of 2 new actual plays over at Manapot Studios. A Starfinder actual play running through the Fly Free or Die adventure path. And I think I am also going to I'm a player on that one. I think I'm also going to be a player in a new Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition actual play. So follow me on social media for more announcements in that regard. And let's see if we can raid someone and share some of the Twitch love. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned.